students, today we are going to talk about some more examples of general entries. Children, if you remember, in the last video we had covered few examples of the general entries. We had also talked about the golden rules of accounting for personal account, real account and nominal account. Moving further and covering some more examples, let us start our today's lecture. Now, the first example which I have taken today is business commenced with capital rupees 2 lakh. So children, we had always talked about that a businessman requires capital to start a business. So this capital, when he brings into the business, is being done as a transaction into the business. So let us see how it affects the different accounts. So children, when a businessman commences business with capital, the two accounts which get involved into this transaction are cash account and capital account. So children, when we talk about cash account, what is cash account? Cash account, as we all know, cash is an asset. It is a tangible asset. It is part of the real accounts. So, and when we talk about the capital account, children, if you remember, when I covered the personal accounts, I had told you that capital account, drawings account, they are part of the personal accounts. So in this case, children, for cash, it is part of the real account and capital is part of the personal account. So the rule of the real account says that debit what comes in. So what is coming here when a businessman brings the capital of rupees 2 lakh, what is coming in the business? Cash is coming into the business. So the rule says that debit what comes in, and for capital, for the personal account, the rule says that credit the giver. So over here, the giver is the businessman. So his account, that is his capital account, will be credited. So the entry would be cash account debit to capital account. For both the debit and the credit will be for rupees 2 lakh. So moving on to the next example, children. The next example says that purchased machinery worth for cash rupees 10,000. So children, the accounts involved into this transaction are machinery account and cash account. Why? Because machinery is being purchased, the assets name machinery is being mentioned over here. So machinery account is part of real accounts, children, and cash account, all know that is an asset. It is a tangible asset for the business. Both of them, they are tangible assets. Machinery is also tangible and cash is also tangible. So both the rule of the real account will be done over here. That is, for machinery, debit what comes in. So what is coming into the business, children? Machinery is coming into the business as an asset. And what is going out of the business, children? For buying this machinery, we are spending cash out of our business. So the rule for the cash account will be credit what goes out. So the general entry would be, children, machinery account will be debited to cash account for an amount of rupees 10,000. Moving on to example number 3, children. Purchased goods from Nancy, rupees 5,000. So over here, children, we have purchased certain goods from person named Nancy. So in this case, accounts involved are purchases account and creditors account. Why purchases account, children? Because we are purchasing the goods, and if you remember when we covered purchases, so children, in this transaction we have purchased goods from Nancy for rupees 5,000. So the accounts which are involved into this transaction are purchases account and creditors account. So now children, what are purchases? When we are purchasing anything, it is part of the nominal account because it is an expense for the business. If you remember when we talked about the purchases in the key terms, we covered that purchases do not include any purchase of fixed assets. So over here we are not buying any fixed assets, we are buying the goods, and when we are buying something it becomes an expense. So the rule for purchases account will be for the nominal account. And for Nancy, Nancy is our creditor. Why Nancy is our creditor, children? So children, over here Nancy is our creditor. Why is she our creditor? Because we owe some amount to her, because we have purchased goods from Nancy, so she is our creditor. We owe as a firm we owe to give Nancy the money. So Nancy is part of the personal account, because the debtors and creditors, if you remember when I covered the personal account, are part of the personal account. So over here Nancy is part of the personal account. So the rule for the purchases will be, purchases are our expenses, debit the expenses. And for Nancy, she is part of the personal account, being a creditor, we will apply the rule credit the giver. So the general entry would be, children, purchases account debit to Nancy's account for an amount of rupees 5,000. Moving on to the next example, children, salaries paid rupees 20,000. So children, you remember that when we have been talking about the business, in business there are lot of expenses. So salaries is one of the expense. The people who are working in the organization, they are paid their salaries. So over here the firm is paying salaries for rupees 20,000 to its employees. So the two accounts which would be involved into this transaction are salaries account and cash account. See children, over here nothing is mentioned. When nothing is mentioned, we assume that the entry is done in cash. So salaries over here are paid, we assume, in cash. Salaries account is a part of nominal account. Why it is part of nominal account, children? Because it is an expense for the business. So, and the cash account is part of the real account. If you remember, it is an asset. So the debit and credit would be debit the expenses. Salaries is an expense and credit what goes out. The rule will be applied because cash account is part of the real account. In every transaction, children, we can have either the same, over here like see, we have the same account, that is real account. Both of them, they are part of the real account. And it can also be that we have different accounts being involved, that is one is of nominal account over here and one is of the real account. So we have to see what rule will apply where. Like over here, the rule of nominal account for the debit part would only be applied, but for the credit part we would be applying the rule for the real account, because the real account says that credit was what goes out. So for paying the salaries in the business, children, we are spending cash. So the general entry would be salaries account debit to cash account. So for amount of rupees 20,000. Moving on to the next example, children, is received interest rupees 500. So now children, what is interest and how it is received? Let's see. The two accounts which are involved in this transaction are, children, cash account, because over here nothing is mentioned. So we assume that this interest has come into the business in the form of cash. So cash account, and the other account which would be affected by this transaction is the interest account. So now when we talk about the cash account, we have been talking about it again and again. Cash account is a tangible account and it is part of the real accounts, because real accounts include all the tangible and intangible assets. And interest account, children, is part of income. It is an income for the business. So if you remember, all the expenses and all the incomes, they are part of the nominal account. So over here again, let's see, there are two accounts which are involved. One is real account, the other one is the nominal account. So children, for this cash account, we would apply the rule of real account, that is debit what comes in. So what is coming into the business? Cash is coming into the business in the form of interest. And interest, as it is an income, so we apply the rule for nominal account, which says that credit all the incomes. So the general entry would be, children, cash account debit to interest account for an amount of rupees 500. So children, today we had covered 5 examples of the general entries. We again would like to recapitulate the golden rules. Again, I would mention there are 3 types of accounts. One is the personal account, one is the real account, one is the nominal account. For the personal account, children, the golden rule is debit the receiver, credit the giver. For real accounts, children, it covers all the tangible and intangible assets. So the rule for the real account, children, again I am recapitulating, is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. And for the nominal account, children, it covers all the expenses and incomes. So it says that debit all the expenses and credit all the incomes. Using these 3 rules, children, always we do the general entries. Kindly note these down in your notebooks. All these examples, we will be covering some more examples in the Microsoft Teams. Be ready with any of your doubts if so from this. See you. Thank you. Have a good day.